Hello everyone, Frank here with Cyberwalk and Cybertalk. I waited a little bit to have this video and to do this video because I wanted the NVD CVE drama to calm a little bit down, and I wanted to summarize basically what happened in the meantime. Just to give to everyone and to folks that don't know about the latest things about the NVD or the CVE drama, the National Vulnerability Database has suffered interruption here and there, but they haven't been overly public. And more recently, there's been a lot of discussion around the major interruption of the funding, and that has sparked a whole discussion. But this has not been the first warning sign. So the NVD, or National Vulnerability Database, and the CVE organization that is 25 years now, has taken care of a National Vulnerability Database and the recognition of the CVE number, that is basically the word saying this is a public vulnerability. Now, that has been funded by the MITA organization, that is a publicly funded organization by the US government, and since the recent cut on the US government, we've seen a slowdown and a number of layoffs starting more or less in March 25. Since February 25, there's been an announcement that fundamentally the funding might be in trouble, and then that was confirmed in early April when a document was disclosed that in April 16 the service might be interrupted altogether. And that has sparked, of course, a flurry of discussion, initiative, including the CVE Foundation, that is not well known, or we don't know what is going to be with the CVE Foundation and the CVE board, because some of the members are inside the board of the CVE, and we seen in the past those board members and some board members being, let's say, let go. So we don't know what's going to happen with the CVE Foundation and the CVE, but in the meantime we've seen the OWASP stepping in with the OpenSSF, trying and proposing different options. I think there are currently 3 options, and I'm part of the discussion on what option could be an initiative. But also CISA has stepped in, funding the NVD for 11 months so far. So we still don't know if we're going to have any dedicated funding for the NVD so far. So the NVD drama is over? No, not at all. But it's been patched up, and we have a temporary measure for 11 months to keep the NVD going. And in the meantime, other initiative has started, like the European Union National Vulnerability Database, AUVD, has started more recently. It's still in beta mode. The API has just been recently announced. So we'll see what's going to happen in there. And in the meantime, we've seen 3 reports coming out. The Vulnerability Data Breach Report from Verizon, that is a well-known publication. And for the first year ever, the exploitation of vulnerability leading into incident has surpassed the phishing attacks and the identity breach attacks. And at the same time, the M report by Mandian has shown an increase and surge up to 33% of all of the incidents that they tracked is led by vulnerability exploitation. So vulnerabilities are not going anywhere. They are bigger than ever, if you want. And the whole ecosystem is facing a little bit of a crisis, because right now, I think we have all the vulnerability from 2018 back to 2000 being deferred, and that has caused an 94,000 vulnerability backlog. But as well, the backlog of vulnerability analyzed by the NVD is in crisis as well. It's been growing consistently. It was 10,000 last year. Right now it's 24,000 and more vulnerability being deferred in the backlog. And of course, the funding of the vulnerability database, or the defunding of the vulnerability database, due to several budget cuts or reason unknown, so it's still jeopardizing this initiative. If you are willing to contribute The CVE database has also GitHub repository where you can pull requests and enrich vulnerability information. They're going to analyze it, but so far they are way beyond the current analysis. So those things might drop altogether. So we still don't have a clear direction of where the vulnerability database is going to go. And it's sad to see this on the 25th year of the vulnerability database. So I hope we can see the light at the end of this tunnel and a global initiative hopefully sparking from this crisis. This is Francesco Cipollone of Franco Friend with Cyberwalk and Cybertalk. I hope everybody enjoys RSA, and I hope this has given you a break from the buzz of this week. So stay safe out there, patch your vulnerability. Hopefully if you're at RSA, you have the team that is looking after your vulnerability and vulnerability database. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.